Okay. A little nervous, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Okay. I jog to stay in shape as much as I can. And when I'm out there, I feel like it's kind of like a meditation, and I feel appreciation for my life more, I think, because I'm focusing and getting all that negative energy out, whatever may be inside. So,
well, you're not getting the negative out. You're just not bringing it in.
Oh, but I feel better, and I smile, and I sing.
We agree, but we're saying when you're jogging, it isn't that you're running the negative stuff out. It's
Right.
that you're not focused on it, so it's not coming in.
Gotcha.
The cork floats, unless you hold it under the water.
All right. So on my way, when I run, every now and again I'll see a beautiful butterfly pass by me, and I always say namaste, and I say thank you, and then kind of like the universe saying hello to me.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Freedom, joy, beauty, a perfect vibration match.
Yeah.
The butterfly says the same to you as you say to the butterfly.
Yeah. Well, a few weeks ago, I was jogging, and along my path there was a butterfly on its back, and I stopped and gently picked it up because I didn't know if it was still alive. The wind might have just been blowing the wing. I didn't know. And I placed it over to the side in the grass, and I just bowed to it, and then I continued on my way. I ran a little harder for the butterfly. Well, a few days ago, around that same area, maybe 5 feet, there was a cardboard cutout of a butterfly that looked just like it. And there's like no trash in this area. It's very well maintained, cleaned up. And I just was curious if you had some kind of answer for what that is. Or is there more to that?
There's always more to everything. There is always more to everything. The first thing that we wanted to say to you in response to your discovery of the butterfly who had made its transition is that it was just there to remind you that we are all passing through, that we are beautiful in this moving in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. In other words, because there's something we're going to ask you a question or two here, and there's no right or wrong answer, so just say whatever you feel.
Sure.
Do you run for the joy of running?
Yes.
Do you run for the physical benefit of running?
Yes.
Do you run to try to maintain your physical prowess?
Mm-hmm.
Do you run for the joy of running?
Yes.
Well, the butterfly flies for the joy of flying. In other words, and there's something that the butterfly is wanting to say to you, and that is that it's natural that we are all in and out, in and out, in and out. And if you're running for the joy of running, rather than from the sort of determined maintenance of a physical apparatus that you feel is fleeting, that's sort of the message from the butterfly to you, is that just relax into the inevitable cycle of life that we are all about, you see. And so that's now the cardboard cutout of the butterfly, someone else vibrationally playing with you too. Yeah. In other words, that's the universe saying, and long after the butterfly is gone, there is the memory of the butterfly. There is the picture of the butterfly. In other words, nothing is ever gone. No one ever dies. No one, even though people have their physical expression and they play with you in powerful form, when they make their reemergence into non-physical, they become that pure positive energy version, and that pure positive energy version is then what you have access to. But the physical version of them still remains in your vibration, in your memory, you see. The question that this conversation is bringing here, and it's a really important, powerful one, is in wanting to keep the memory of something that was physical alive, are you denying yourself the current reality of it? That was big enough. There should have been a collective from you. Gonna go back and get it again. In other words, here you are physically focused, and sometimes you're in alignment and sometimes you're not, and your emotions tell you which is which. When you make your transition into non-physical, You leave behind all that was negative in nature. You leave behind all doubt and fear and self-judgment and judgment of others, and you reemerge into the fullness of all that you are. That pure positive energy being, it's like when Esther's father made his transition, she didn't know how to think about him because she had not had so many recent conversations with him on this high-flying disc. She knew him to be worried and worried about her mother and worried about things. And so once he made his transition, it took her a little while to sort him out because her memory of who he was defiant of who he now is. And so that's what that's about. That butterfly is there to remind you of the eternal nature of your being and to ask you to run for the joy of running, not for the clinging to the physical experience. Really, 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 really so important that it left a pictorial behind in order to have this conversation.
That was
We
excellent.
think this is